Sean, did you steal jewelry? Sean, did you steal furniture? Sean, did you steal? Did you defraud people?
All right, what are we?
Did you run a scheme? Did you run a scheme to defraud people? Let me know, Sean Kingston.
Watch your step! Watch your step! Yeah.
That is a little bit of the exchange. We tried to ask him questions over and over again for about 3 or 4 minutes. The only question that he answered was as he was getting in the Maybach that pulled up to take him away.
Hold up, did you hear about Sean Kingston? Yeah, the beautiful girl singer. Guess what? The guy was on top of the world, but now it's a whole different story. Kingston's caught up in some serious legal trouble. We're talking fraud, theft, and even his mom's involved. It's wild, right? How does a guy go from sold-out concerts to sitting in a cell? That's what we're gonna find out. So stick around, because this story's got plenty of twists. All right, let's get into the crazy SWAT raid that turned Sean Kingston's world upside down. Picture this. It's May 23rd, 2024, in Southwest Ranches, Florida. Kingston's living it up in this fancy rented mansion, probably thinking he's on top of the world. But little did he know, his world was about to come crashing down.
Detectives with the Broward Sheriff's Office, they have literally been here on site all day long. As you can see, there is a mobile command post set up just outside of the home, and all of this has to deal with some very pricey equipment that allegedly was never paid for. A high-profile raid underway Thursday at this multi-million-dollar home connected to musician Sean Kingston. The tune Beautiful Girls may have been the music star's biggest hit, but he may have lost some fans at a company that sells and installs high-end television and sound systems. According to this court document, a company called Ver Entertainment accuses Kingston of having a $150,000 system installed at the home, but failing to pay for it in full.
We know that our property is inside this house right here.
Out of nowhere, a SWAT team shows up at his door. We're not talking about a couple of cops here. This is full-on tactical gear, guns drawn, the whole 9 yards. They storm the place like it's a scene from an action movie. Can you imagine being Kingston at that moment? One minute you're chilling in your mansion, the next you've got a SWAT team in your living room. But here's where it gets even wilder. The cops aren't just there for Sean, they're after his mom too. Yeah, you heard that right. Janice Turner, Kingston's 61-year-old mother, gets arrested right there in the house. Talk about a family affair, right? Now, you might be wondering, where's Sean in all this? Well, get this, he wasn't even home. The guy was all the way in Fort Irwin, California doing a show. But don't worry, the law caught up with him too. They nabbed him later that same night after his performance. Imagine going from the stage to handcuffs in one evening. That's a plot twist if I've ever seen one.
Thank y'all for coming to see us. I go by the name of 96. Thank y'all.
So what were the cops looking for? They weren't after drugs or weapons. Nah, this was all about money. The police start seizing stuff left and right. We're talking luxury items that'll make your jaw drop. They grab this custom-made bed, and I'm not talking about some fancy mattress from the mall. This thing cost $86,000. Who spends that much on a bed? And that's not even the craziest part. They also took a Cadillac Escalade worth $160,000. That's a whole house on wheels right there. Now let's talk numbers, because this isn't just about a few expensive toys. The Broward Sheriff's Office is saying Kingston and his mom scammed people out of over $1 million in property. That's not pocket change, folks. We're talking serious money here. How'd they pull it off? Apparently they were playing some kind of shell game with the banks. They'd make payments that never actually happened. It's like writing checks with invisible ink. The money looks like it's there, but when you try to cash it, poof, it's gone. This whole situation is crazy enough, but it gets even crazier when you think about who Kingston is. This isn't some small-time hustler. This is the guy who gave us Beautiful Girls. He was on top of the charts, collaborating with Justin Bieber. How does someone go from that to allegedly scamming mattress companies? And let's not forget about his mom. At 61, you'd think she'd be planning for retirement, not allegedly planning fraud schemes with her son. It's like some twisted version of take your kid to work day, except it's take your mom to jail day. But here's the kicker. This isn't just about one big score. The authorities are saying this was a whole operation going on for months. They weren't just hitting up one business. They had a whole list. We're talking jewelers, car dealerships, and yes, even that mattress seller. Who scams a mattress seller? I mean, come on. So Kingston and his mom allegedly scammed not one, not two, but multiple businesses. We're talking about a whole network of schemes here. Get this, back in 2015, a jeweler sued Kingston for $356,000. That's more than some people make in a decade. But wait, it gets better, or worse, depending on how you look at it. In 2018, another jeweler took him to court and won $301,000. That's a lot of carats he wasn't paying for. So we've got a guy who's spending like crazy, but the hits have dried up. How's he keeping up this lavish lifestyle? Well, now we know. It looks like Kingston turned to some not-so-legal methods to keep the party going. But here's the real kicker. In a TMZ interview, Kingston was wearing about $200,000 worth of jewelry. And get this, he claimed he was spending $25,000 a month just living in LA. That's some people's yearly salary, and he's blowing it in a month.
He's got a bunch of really, really expensive jewelry on. He's also being sued because he doesn't make payments for jewelry that he owns.
You know, about a quick 200,000 on right now.
Right there?
Yeah, about that, you know. This is 85 right here.
Whoa,
and,
man.
You know, a lot of people say that. They say I owe on jewelry and I'll be paying people.
Oh, really? We hadn't heard.
But you know, that's all rumors because at the end of the day, if I was broke, I wouldn't be spending, you know, $25,000 a month out here living in LA.
But wait, there's more. They didn't stop at jewelry. These two allegedly hit up a luxury car dealership for $159,000. That's a whole lot of car right there. But here's the kicker. They even scammed a mattress seller for $86,000. A mattress seller? Who does that? I mean, I get wanting a comfy bed, but come on. Now, you might be wondering, how did they pull this off? Well, it looks like they used Kingston's celebrity status to their advantage. Think about it. You're a business owner, and Sean Kingston, yeah, the beautiful girls guy, walks into your store. You're probably excited, right? Maybe thinking about all the publicity you'll get. That's where the trap was set. They'd use Kingston's fame to get goods on credit, promise big things, get the stuff, and then ghost it. No payment, no nothing. It's like when your friend borrows money and then suddenly doesn't know how to use their phone anymore. But it gets even wilder. Remember Justin Bieber? Yeah, the Biebs himself got dragged into this mess without even knowing it. Kingston allegedly promised promotional videos with Bieber to get lower down payments. Spoiler alert, those videos never happened. It's like name dropping on steroids, but with fraud charges attached. Let's talk about Ver Entertainment for a sec. These guys got hit hard. Kingston told them he had this big working relationship with Bieber. He promised to make some killer promo content if they'd give him a deal on a $150,000 TV system. Sounds great, right? Except after they installed it, Kingston ghosted them on the rest of the payment. Classic move, but not exactly legal. Dennis Card, the lawyer for Ver Entertainment, put it best. He said, he leads people to believe he's a wealthy, high-rolling guy. And that's the whole game right there. Kingston was using his image, his past success, to make people think he was still living large. But in reality, it looks like he was just running a giant scam. And here's the thing, this wasn't just a one-time slip-up or a momentary lapse in judgment. Nah, this was a whole operation going on for months. We're talking about a systematic approach to fraud here. That's I'm in serious trouble money. Now let's get real about these charges, because they're no joke. Sean Kingston's not just facing 1 or 2 counts here. We're talking 10 charges. 10. That's like a whole soccer team of legal trouble. We've got grand theft, identity theft, and even violating probation. Yeah, you heard that right. He was already on probation when this went down. Talk about digging yourself deeper. Now, let's break it down. 4 counts of using someone else's personal info. That's identity theft, folks. 3 counts of grand theft. 1 count of organized fraud. 1 count for writing bad checks. And to top it off, he violated his probation. This ain't just shoplifting a candy bar. We're talking serious stuff here. But wait, there's more. His mom, Janice Turner, is in on it too. She's facing 8 counts herself. Like mother, like son, I guess. And get this, it's not her first rodeo. Mama Turner did time for bank fraud back in 2006. Looks like old habits die hard, huh? Now, you might be thinking, okay, but how bad is it really? Let me put it this way. If they're found guilty, we're looking at up to 20 years for each count of wire fraud. Each count. Do the math. That's a long time. We're not talking about a few months here and there. We're talking decades. That's enough time for Kingston to go from beautiful girls to beautiful grandkids. But here's the kicker. Kingston's lawyer is trying to play it cool. They're saying it's all just a big misunderstanding, that this is a civil case, not a criminal one. Yeah, right. Tell that to the SWAT team that raided his house. I'm pretty sure they didn't show up for a civil dispute. So how does this happen? How does a guy go from making hit songs to facing decades in prison? It's not like he woke up one day and decided to become a criminal mastermind. This kind of thing builds up over time. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill, getting bigger and bigger until it turns into an avalanche. Maybe it was the pressure to keep up appearances. Maybe it was bad financial decisions catching up with him. Or maybe he just thought he could get away with it. Whatever the reason, Kingston's facing some serious consequences now. And you've got to wonder what was going through his head. Did he think his fame would protect him? Did he not realize how serious this was? Or was he just desperate? It's easy to judge from the outside, but fame and fortune can mess with your head. One minute you're on top of the world, the next you're struggling to keep up. So here's a question for you. What would you do if you had it all and then lost it? Would you hustle harder or start cutting corners? Makes you think, right? Leave me your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you found this story wild, hit that like button and subscribe. Trust me, we've got more crazy celeb stories coming your way. See you in the next one.